Scary story. The harvester Harlan Whitaker Maniac. Serial killer. In the vast sun-scorched wheat fields surrounding the small farming community of Golden Plains, Kansas, where summer heat waves rise like mirages and winter blizzards bury roads for days, the locals began to speak in hushed tones about a man they called the Harvester. His real name was Harlan Whitaker, 49 years old, a fifth-generation wheat farmer who worked the same 800 acres his great-grandfather had claimed under the Homestead Act. Broad-shouldered, sun-leathered, with callused hands and eyes the color of dry prairie grass. He lived alone in the old two-story farmhouse at the end of a gravel road, raised Angus cattle on the side, and kept his combine harvester polished like it was still new. Neighbors said he was reliable, always helped with harvests when someone fell ill, always paid his co-op bills on time. No one suspected the quiet rage that had simmered since his only daughter disappeared at 16, never found, presumed runaway or worse. The first harvest came in late July 2028. 23-year-old college student named Avery Kane. She had come from Wichita for summer work, driving a grain truck between fields. Her body was discovered at dawn in the middle of Harlan's North 80, laid out flat on her back between two rows of standing wheat, arms at her sides, legs straight, as if she had simply lain down to rest. Her abdomen had been opened with a single, sweeping cut from sternum to pubic bone, using what the coroner identified as a sickle bar mower blade. Clean, precise, no ragged edges. Internal organs had been carefully removed and arranged around her body in neat piles. Heart to the north, lungs east and west, liver south, stomach centered over the navel. Each organ had been cleaned of blood and placed on a bed of freshly cut wheat stalks. Her rib cage had been spread open like wings. A small brass harvest medal, vintage from the 1950s, was pinned to the skin above her heart. Engraved on the back, Avery Kane harvested July 29, 2028 yield. Excellent grade prime. The wheat around her had been left standing, forming a perfect rectangular border 20 feet on each side. When the combine finally cut through days later, the grain from that patch tested abnormally high in protein, almost as if fertilized by something rich. Second harvest appeared 5 weeks later. 27-year-old agronomist named Jordan Hale. He consulted for the local co-op, testing soil samples and recommending seed varieties. His body was found in Harlan's east field, sitting upright in the cab of an abandoned John Deere tractor that had been parked at the field edge for years, arms resting on the steering wheel, head tilted forward as if inspecting the dashboard. The same sickle bar incision, organs removed and arranged in a circle around the tractor wheels, kidneys at 12 and 6 o'clock, intestines coiled like ropes at 3 and 9, spleen and pancreas placed on the hood like offerings, each organ meticulously cleaned, no bruising. The brass medal pinned to his shirt pocket. Jordan Hale harvested September 4, 2028 yield superior grade choice. The tractor keys were still in the ignition. When investigators turned it over, the engine started on the first try, despite having sat unused for a decade. Panic took root. Harvest crews refused solo shifts. Families kept children indoors after dusk. The county sheriff called Topeka for assistance. FBI Special Agent Mara Voss, no relation to prior cases, just persistent coincidence, arrived during the first cool front of autumn. She had grown up on a farm in Nebraska. She understood land, cycles, sacrifice. Mara interviewed Harlan at his farmhouse porch. He offered black coffee in a chipped mug. The air smelled of diesel and cut hay. "You knew Avery Kane?" she asked. "Saw her driving truck. Polite girl. Good work ethic." Jordan Hale. "Took soil samples here last spring." Harlan nodded slowly. "Told me my nitrogen was low. Recommended more ammonium sulfate." I listened. Mara noticed the old combine in the equipment shed. Polished, blade sharpened, ready for the final pass. She also noticed the small brass medals displayed on a shelf inside the kitchen window. Dozens. All vintage. All engraved with different years and names. She left with a warrant pending. Third harvest came before paperwork cleared. 21-year-old photographer named Sage Monroe. She documented rural life for an online magazine, focusing on family farms facing corporate buyouts. Her body appeared at dusk in Harlan's south pasture, lying prone in the center of a perfect crop circle, mowed into the standing corn, arms and legs spread in an X shape, incision identical, organs removed and placed at the cardinal points. Liver north, heart east, lungs south, stomach west. Intestines formed a spiral pattern around her torso, the brass medal pinned through her tongue. Sage Monroe harvested, October 11, 2028 yield, exceptional grade, prime plus. The crop circle was too precise for machinery. The corn stalks had been hand-bent and woven together at the base. Mara got the warrant that night. They raided the farmhouse at 4 in the morning. The front rooms were ordinary. Faded wallpaper, family photos, a calendar marked with planting and harvest dates. The basement was different. A cold storage room, lined with stainless steel shelving, glass jars of preserved organs, labeled by name, date, organ type, and yield grade. Vacuum-sealed bags of cleaned intestines coiled like sausages, freezer drawers containing neatly wrapped sections of muscle tissue, and on the workbench, a set of antique brass harvest medals, blanks ready for engraving, beside a small jeweler's press. A ledger recorded every harvest, date, victim description, field location, weather conditions, organ weights, final grade, notes in the margins, high protein potential, good marbling, excellent shelf life. Harlan wasn't home. He had taken his combine into the fields at midnight. They found him at sunrise on the West 80, the last uncut section. The massive John Deere was moving slow, header down, reel turning. Harlan sat in the cab, hands on the wheel, eyes forward. Inside the cab, 5 new brass medals laid out on the dash, each engraved with a future name, including Mara Voss. When deputies surrounded the machine, Harlan stopped the combine, stepped down calmly, raised his hands. "The land takes what it needs," he said quietly. "My girl was taken. I give back." Keeps the yield high. In federal court he confessed to 9 harvests, 3 discovered, 6 more buried in shallow trenches across his fields, marked only by small brass stakes engraved with initials. Each body had been fertilized into the soil after organ removal, returned to the earth to enrich next year's crop. He claimed the wheat grew taller, the grain heavier, the protein content higher in those exact spots. Soil tests confirmed it. Diagnosed with delusional agrarian psychosis, sentenced to life without parole in a maximum security facility. The farm was seized. The combine scrapped. The fields leased to a corporate outfit that planted genetically modified seeds. But in Golden Plains, harvests continue. On certain autumn evenings when the wind moves through standing grain, farmers swear they see a tall figure walking the rows, slow, deliberate, sickle in hand. Not Harlan. He's locked away, but the wheat still whispers names, and sometimes when the header cuts the final pass, the grain trucks come back heavier than expected. Yield exceptional. Grade prime. Check out my long videos with scary stories. Visit my channel and watch. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Recommend it to your friends. Check out my videos, friends.